A coalition of liquor traders is appealing to government to remove parts of the disaster management regulations pertaining to the restriction of alcohol trading because of what they say is the effect it's having on businesses. Alcohol industry representative Lucky Ntimane now joins us. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for speaking to us. So, firstly, why do you believe that lifting of the disaster management trading hours would improve your sales?
Good evening and good evening to SABC News viewers as well. We believe it's not only going to help in terms of sales because we see this as a twofold approach. One is us trying to be, a conduit in government's effort in combating the spread of COVID-19 and the perpetrated resurgence that's been reported on. And secondly is obviously the economic aspect of things. But let me first touch on the first part, which is us building a social compact with government in helping their efforts to fight COVID-19. You see, when you open up off-premise, what then happens is you are then allowing a channel, which is an at-home consumption, to take hold, which then means that people over the weekend are then now able to buy liquor and enjoy it at the comfort of their own home without having to bear the issue of sanitizing, sitting
Let
distance.
me challenge
as well.
that in saying even during hours which it would be expected, as there is a restriction now, especially on weekend sales, at restaurants, as in times that people need to shut down, they don't do that. So it doesn't necessarily translate into people adhering to the rules. And also, if you look at the already challenging trading conditions in a depressed economy, I understand you saying that you want to be part of that social compact. Doesn't it already make it difficult?
No. So actually, I like your assertion. So we need to differentiate between on-premise and off-consumption. Off-consumption is when you buy liquor to enjoy at home, and on-consumption when you buy liquor and enjoy it at a pub, at a restaurant, at a tavern. So what we are calling for is the opening up of the off-premise channel, which will allow people, consumers, those that enjoy liquor in a responsible manner, to be able to purchase and enjoy it at the comfort of their own home, which is what we call at-home consumption. So we understand the challenges around on-consumption, taverns, pubs, that has been reported on, and we believe that these are the few liquor traders that have gone rogue, which we condemn fully. And we have partnered with the relevant departments, the SABC, as well as the Department of Social Development, where relevant, so that we can address the issue of non-compliance. And we are fully behind SABC in the actions that have taken, particularly General Mawela in Gauteng. So for us, is to really drive the issue of responsible consumption and trading, but also encourage the customers, the consumers, that frequent these places to do so in a responsible manner where they are wearing masks, they sanitize.
I guess the assertion really is that you can't really guarantee that all liquor consumers are going to be responsible. If you look at, for instance, the trauma presentations when there was a ban, they were rather high. And I want to talk about the consumer itself. The consumer is already constrained. High unemployment rate, high food inflation, transport, electricity increases. All of this are making it very difficult to buy alcohol, so meaning it can't be a priority.
Yeah, so we need to balance the two. So we need to also preserve the livelihoods of those that are employed in the alcohol sector. So if really your statement was to hold true, that means that we really need to open the off-premise as a matter of urgency so that those jobs are not at risk. Because as it were, I'm sure you might have seen the report that, SAB, for example, has lost close to 20 billion just during the lockdown alone. The off-premise channel has lost over 7 billion in the past 2 months. So really we need to open up the industry, the sector, as it were, so that jobs can be preserved, as you might have read as well. The alcohol industry has invested 150 million towards PPE through the aware.org, which is a body responsible for alcohol harm reduction in the country. So there is something that the industry is doing, and we need to rally behind that industry to make sure that jobs are preserved, but also the health sector is supported fully by this industry.
How many people are directly employed by the industry, and how many of those employment opportunities are as a result or trace back to the direct production and sale of liquor?
So in the alcohol value chain, there's over 1.5 billion jobs that are directly linked to that. So any threat to the industry whatsoever directly puts the 1.5 million jobs at risk. And we're not even talking about the lives that are supported by the income of those 1.5 million. So this is a big industry that contributes over 2% of the country's GDP. So that is north of 200 billion per annum.
And I'm glad you raised that point, because there's a question about how many of these are actually people who contribute to GDP in our country, given the fact that there are illegal traders, which some say actually cost the economy. But if you look at opportunities as well, there's an argument that there will be, and there is in fact, a growing number of export market opportunities of African beer to be sold in other parts of the world. Thailand, Brazil, for instance, China, the Philippines.
Yes, we appreciate those opportunities. But for us, we need to bring it home. And bring it home means that you fully open up the off-premise, allow the off-premise to operate over a 7-day period. So the biggest transactions in the off-premise channel take place between 5 and 7 p.m. And as it is now, that channel only closes at 5. So meaning that you are further threatening the livelihoods of these businesses based on the hours that have been almost sent down the chin of the industry. So what we're saying is, let's fully open up this industry. Once the industry is fully open and the recoveries have been seen, then we can talk about the global markets and the export. But for now, the problem is very local. We need to deal with it here at home.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Lucky Ntimane is the alcohol industry representative. And Francis, he's saying there that they believe that they should lift the ban, especially on trading hours that were previously non-existent. That would tell you that would be the weekend. He's saying that at-home drinking will be better for the industry. And of course, the question is, I don't know how many people out there who would agree, who've challenged that this particular trend itself has led to an increase in gender-based violence, other types of crimes and assaults.